So I'm done rebooking the SummerSlam series, and the year is halfway over, meaning it's time for the mid-year season where I give you my 20 favorite matches of the first half of 2017. And usually, just like always, they'll change maybe time. I'll rethink through matches. I'll see if I still think that they're great matches, and basically stuff changes. But this is so far one of my favorite matches of the year so far. I'll give you the 20 matches. Honorable mentions. Let's see. I like the Money in a Bank match a lot. The first Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura match. Roderick Strong and Hideo Itami had another great match. I'm just naming stuff, so I'm just kind of just thinking on top of my head. Revival and DIY had another outstanding match earlier in the year. The Seth Rollins and Triple H from WrestleMania. I mean, we had some pretty solid matches from a lot of companies, but they weren't as great as these. These 20 matches, most of them actually happened in New Japan Pro Wrestling, meaning that New Japan Pro Wrestling is by far the hottest freaking company going on right now. So that's saying a lot for New Japan. They are red hot, and their G1 Climax tournament is just gonna get a lot better, especially when we found out that Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega will be in the same bracket, meaning that we might get that match that we wanted, as well as Zack Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi. So New Japan Pro Wrestling is on roll. It's time for WWE and NXT to just start balling out with their greatest matches of all time. Because, Joe and Lesnar's coming up soon, so that match better be fantastic. They need to ball out with some great matches, because most of these are New Japan Pro Wrestling matches. ROH is actually doing a good job for the most part, so I can't really give them that much hate, because at least ROH looks like they're actually on a roll. And who the fuck is TNA Impact? I'm just saying. So, coming in at number 20, I got Hiromu Takahashi versus Kushida from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion 6.11. I got to actually see the full New Japan Pro Wrestling show, and Kushida's been on a roll ever since his match with Will Ospreay, which we'll see later, which I'll talk about later. But basically the rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 11. Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom 11. And it was just a really good match. I really enjoyed these guys' in-ring chemistry. I really like that these guys know how to work a good match. And this new guy, I've never seen that much, Hiromu Takahashi. He's actually one of my favorite wrestlers going on right now, honestly. He's very underrated, and I've been enjoying his work for the past couple of months. So kudos for that guy. Coming in at number 19, Tetsuya Naito versus Michael Elgin from New Japan Pro Wrestling's The New Beginning in Osaka. Damn, these guys have wrestled so many times, and they still could pull off great matches. That's saying a lot. I really respect both these guys putting in the work. And Tetsuya Naito, I'm just glad that he is not completely out of the shadows. He is on a roll with great matches. And Michael Elgin, even though he's a little bit slower, he's still kicking ass and still pulling off some amazing talent out of these guys. Coming in at number 18, I got Marty Scurll versus Adam Cole, baby, from ROH's Supercard of Honor 11. A fantastic match. I think that these guys are just giving it their best. Marty Scurll, I think he's part of the... I know he's part of the Bullet Club. Both these guys, well, Adam Cole was. But I've been seeing lately that Ricochet, Will Ospreay, and Marty Scurll have been the top 3 most talked about guys ever since last year. And that's saying a lot. And I've never seen Marty Scurll, but after seeing this match with Adam Cole, I'm really impressed with this guy. And I like his story, that mask. I think he's really great. And this match was just another fantastic match. Coming in at number 17, Kazuchika Okada versus Minoru Suzuki from New Japan Pro Wrestling's The New Beginning and Sapporo. I like Minoru Suzuki. He had one of my favorite New Japan Pro Wrestling matches with AJ Styles. That's what got my attention with this guy. And then when I saw that he was going to take in Kazuchika Okada, I said, yes, I am down, bet. So, yes, I saw this match. It was a great match. Kazuchika Okada obviously won because Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega are set to fight months to come, which, again, we'll talk about those matches later down on the road. But these guys have been really impressive for the most part. And I really like that these guys still got the talent. Coming in at number, let's see, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. We got Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura from NXT TakeOver Orlando. Shinsuke Nakamura's final match in NXT. I love the match. It made Bobby Roode a star. Honestly, Bobby Roode has been my favorite champion in NXT ever. I mean, I like him more than Rollins, Balor, Neville, Zayn, Owens. Maybe not Owens, but Bobby Roode has just been a fantastic champion. I mean, he carries the championship. You know, there's been an old saying that the championship doesn't make the person makes the championship, and that's the legal definition of Bobby Roode. And he had a great match with Shinsuke Nakamura. The first one was pretty good, but this one was just even better, and it just surprised me how good these guys were doing. So these guys have been kicking ass, and I really enjoyed that match. And a good farewell to Shinsuke Nakamura. Thank you, Shinsuke, for NXT. Hopefully, WWE SmackDown doesn't fuck you up. Coming in at number 15. Yes, 15. Yeah, 15. We're down to the top 15. Adam Cole versus Christopher Daniels, baby, from the ROH's 15th anniversary. How is it that Christopher Daniels has been one of the first guys in the Indies to make ROH historical, and he never became the ROH champion? He got shots, but he never became champion. So this, while not maybe the best match ever, it's a special place in my heart because Christopher Daniels is one of those guys that people got to go back and watch back in the day. I mean, he was just amazing. Granted, his matches as the ROH champion weren't as great, but damn, he's been on a roll, and I appreciate that Christopher Daniels finally became the ROH champion, and Adam Cole has just been great. I can't wait for him to arrive to NXT. From what I've heard, he's going to NXT, so kudos for that. Coming in at number 14, we got the Elimination Chamber match from WWE's Elimination Chamber. John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, The Miz, AJ Styles, and the winner, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt became WWE champion, and then also at this time, John Cena was a 16-time world champion, and pretty odd that he lost it in 2 weeks. Honestly, I would have just had AJ walk in as champion. It would have made a little bit more sense to carry the story for Shane and Styles, you know. But I really liked this match a lot. I thought it was a freaking amazing match. I wasn't big on the new chamber. I'm still not the biggest fan of how the new chamber looked, but all 6 of these guys did their best to make a great match out of it. And, you know, the guy who really stuck out for me the most in this match was The Miz, actually, when he just went apeshit crazy on Cena, Styles, and Wyatt. But then Miz gets eliminated by Cena, continuing their feud. And then this basically set up WrestleMania. It set up Ambrose and Corbin. It set up Miz and Cena. It set up Wyatt and Orton. And it set up McMahon and Styles because AJ didn't want to be part of this match. I mean, he wanted the WWE Championship back, but he didn't want to originally defend it. So, you know, it's just good that I'm appreciating what this talent is doing. So anytime they could carry stuff into future matches, then I'm happy for that. Next thing I want to talk about is number 13, Christopher Daniels versus Cody from ROH's Best in the World. This is one of the more recent matches. I got to see it. It was a really good match. Christopher Daniels and Cody Rhodes are just amazing. I'm never a big fan of the Bullet Club interfering in matches. This time it kind of worked, but Cody is just now a star, and he became ROH World Champion. See what happens when you give people chances, WWE. Cody is now the hottest star going on in ROH. So, WWE dropped the ball with Cody instead of making him Stardust. I still love that flip when he gave someone the middle finger, but Cody Rhodes now is a star, and Christopher Daniels did the best that he could with the ROH World Heavyweight Championship. But I'm glad that Cody is now your ROH champion. He could honestly carry it for the rest of the year for all I care, because Cody could definitely carry ROH, especially since Adam Cole is now going to be in NXT from what I've heard. Coming in at number 12, the most recent match I've seen, and that is Asuka versus Nikki Cross in the last women's standing match. And I like that they didn't do, this is the first ever last women's standing match. They just said it's the last women's standing match. But damn, this was a good match. Nikki Cross and Asuka basically, this feud has been going on since December last year in NXT. And it's been carrying all the way here, and it culminated into a pretty solid feud, basically ending that feud. And now we're gonna set up Asuka and Ember Moon, which is a feud that is also yet to be finished. So I'm just glad that they're doing a great job making all of this possible. Like, they're making the women's division work, especially now that the Mae Young Classic is coming up. And I mentioned this week that they did the Gauntlet match where Sasha wins, the women's ladder match, Money in the Bank, with Carmella winning, and now Asuka and Nikki Cross in the last women's standing match, which was a great match. Table shots. Actually, they had kind of a table shot, but they had a cool chair powerbomb. They brought up trash cans. You know, if they had blood, that would have been a bonus. But I mean, it's the thought that counts. They did this for our entertainment, and I respect both women for this. And Nikki Cross is officially one of my favorite women currently right now. Coming in at number 11, Kenny Omega versus Tomohiro Ishii from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestling Dontaku. Okay, just because Kenny Omega's in it doesn't make it a 5-star classic. One of the greatest matches of all time. You guys gotta actually sit through it. It was a great match. Don't get me wrong. It was an amazing match. I mean, it's number 11. But just because of the names doesn't make it that fantastic. I mean, I'm just liking that Kenny Omega's now the highest grossing star right now. He's like the most talked about guy, and honestly, it's a good thing that he took over the Bullet Club because he's been on a roll. And Tomohiro Ishii is one of those underrated guys, in my opinion, because I mean, when you think of New Japan Pro Wrestling, you think Kazuchika Okada, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kenny Omega, Tetsuya Naito, but Tomohiro Ishii is kind of like one of those like last people you think of. But Tomohiro Ishii, one day, I feel like if he becomes the IWGP champion, I'll be the happiest man alive. I'm just happy for these two to pull off a great match. So, yes, kudos for that. Now we're down to the top 10. Coming in at number 10, Kushida versus Will Ospreay in the New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Junior Finals. The finals of the Super Junior tournament. I'm not the biggest fan of the Super Junior tournament unless it involves these guys wrestling, which completely surprised me. This made Kushida a star. You could say this match was Kyle O'Reilly, but I think this one made it even better because, I mean, Will Ospreay is just different talent, and it was kind of a funny, floppy match. I mean, Princess Strongstyle and I were kind of joking about how there's a part where Kushida is holding Will Ospreay's hand, and then Will Ospreay is going back and forth in a circle, which is kind of funny. But overall, these two did a great job in making this a really good, entertaining match. So I like it a lot. It was a great match. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend you guys to go watch it. It was amazing. Coming in at number 9, the Fatal 5-Way from Extreme Rules featuring Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Roman Reigns. The Fatal 5-Way where the winner faces Brock Lesnar. We all thought Finn Balor was going to win. We all thought Seth Rollins was going to win. Even some people predicted Bray Wyatt. I knew that they're saving Roman Reigns for a Big Four. So it was like, yeah, but Samoa Joe won. And that was the last expectation I would have seen coming. I'm like, yeah, Joe's probably not going to win. But he won. He won the match. And now he's going to take on Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. It led to some shock value, and it just led to some imaginative things with that match that we're going to get next week. And hopefully it's a fantastic match. It has to be the best match of the year. It just has to, or at least up there. But Brock and Joe are now gonna fight, and it's just great. And even this match, it was just really good. They had the team up with Joe and Wyatt. Finn Balor was doing a bunch of flips. Seth Rollins did a dive through a table. Everybody put in the work. Even Roman Reigns, who really surprised me in this match, just tearing the house down. He was working as a heel. I could tell Roman Reigns wants to be a heel, so WWE just turned him heel already. Coming in at number 8, this is a great storytelling match, but number 8 is the Authors of Pain versus DIY versus The Revival at NXT TakeOver Orlando. The match of the night by far. The Revival and DIY hated each other, but they realized that they had to team together to take down the Authors of Pain. So they did what they could. They teamed up and they fell short, but it proved that the Authors of Pain are easily the most dominant tag team currently right now. They're undefeated, so that's saying a lot. So kudos for that. And then DIY told a great story with them and Revival. I like when they shared finishers. Scott Dawson and Johnny Gargano, and then Dash Wilder and Tommaso Ciampa. They shared finisher. I really loved it. It was great for these guys. Coming in at number 7, we have Ricochet versus Will Ospreay in the New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of Super Juniors Day 2. This is my favorite match of these guys' series. These guys have a great chemistry, and I could tell they're playing off the story of Ricochet wanting to finally beat Will Ospreay, but he just can't. So that kind of story helps this match a lot more than the first one, because the first one I felt, while it was a fantastic match, one of my favorite matches of that year, I felt like people were cheering for the moves than the actual guys. And this one, we actually have both guys over as hell, so it just made this match even more special. And that it was still part of the Super Juniors, it's just an even bigger bonus for me. Coming in at number 6, Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne at NXT TakeOver Chicago. Damn, these guys had a little bit of time and they did the best that they could. I was just blown away with these two guys in the ring. Pete Dunne is one of my favorite wrestlers currently. The Bruiserweight, they call him. And they had to bring in Jim Ross and Nigel McGuinness to commentate. That's an even bigger bonus for me. And these guys just tore the house down and had a fantastic match. And Pete Dunne finally beat Tyler Bate because of his cocky, arrogant, which I love. And I can't wait for more matches to come out of these two guys. These guys have impressed me. And Tyler Bate, who was like 20 years old, 21 maybe, and he's just been impressive. And it was just great seeing these two guys in the ring. These guys have great chemistry. They had a previous match in the tournament, the UK tournament earlier this year, which was good, but I wasn't as behind it as I am in this one, where this one impressed me even more, showing that these two guys could pull off a fantastic match. I love this match a lot. Coming in at number 5, one of the more controversial matches of the year, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Dominion 6.11, where it ends in a tiebreaker. It was an hour long, and it gave Dave Meltzer the jizz for giving this match 6 and like a quarter match, almost 7 stars. Can you believe that shit? So yeah, I can't believe that they were willing to do that, and I really enjoyed the match a lot. I thought it was great. It's not as great as the first one, which we'll get to, but the fact that it's in my top 5 is saying a lot. And these guys told a great story of these guys were trying to beat the crap out of each other just to get the finish done, but they couldn't quite do it yet. And yes, I really enjoyed the match. It was a fantastic match. Go see it if you haven't, even if it is 1 hour. 1 hour of greatness, I could say. Coming in at number 4, this threw me back to the old school. This is like the old school meets the new school. The Young Bucks beating the Broken Hardy Boys. And yes, the Young Bucks have officially deleted the Broken Hardys, because this is the last time we see the Broken Hardys this year so far. So this is a Supercard of Honor 11. This is WrestleMania weekend, the best match of the WrestleMania weekend. Rarely do you say that about ROH. But it was a fantastic match. It really threw me back to the old school, because the Hardys had that old school mentality of using ladders, and then Young Bucks have that new mentality of using ladders. So it took 2 different generations and made a fantastic ladder match. One of the best ladder matches I've ever seen, and one of my favorite matches coming out of both these tag teams. These guys have just definitely pulled it off. And yes, afterwards, they pushed Young Bucks to be the best tag team there is. Hardy's put them over, but that eventually led to them heading to WrestleMania, winning the Raw Tag Team Championship. So we all win there. So great match out of these 2 tag teams. Now we're down to the top 3. Coming in at number 3, Kazuchika Okada versus Katsuyori Shibata and New Japan Pro Wrestling Sakura Genesis. People told me about this match. It has to be a must-see. It might be Katsuyori Shibata's last match. And probably it is still. But Katsuyori Shibata just freaking hit Kazuchika Okada in the head. He started bleeding. It was fucking insane. You could hear it. It was like that loud. Like, it was like insane. And you know, if this is Katsuyori Shibata's last match, he went on a bang. Great career from Katsuyori Shibata if this is your last performance. So, all but respect for Katsuyori Shibata. And Kazuchika Okada again pulling off a great IWGP Championship run. Just fantastic. Coming in at number 2, we have John Cena versus AJ Styles from the WWE Royal Rumble this year. I mean, when people were saying that the Royal Rumble was going to be the best thing of this entire show, yeah. But we had Cena and AJ, which was a 5-star classic, one of the best matches of the year so far, and it's going to be hard to top it for WWE. If Joe and Lesnar top it, I'll be shocked. But holy shit, these guys told a great story. AJ Styles basically became the most undefeated guy there is. John Cena this is the only guy John Cena could never beat. AJ Styles pinned John Cena 3 times at Money in the Bank, at SummerSlam, and at No Mercy. Granted, one was a triple threat, but that's besides the point. These guys just tore the house down. And John Cena became the 16-time world champion. And I really appreciated that he won, because that could have led to Undertaker and Cena. Granted, that never happened. And I kind of wish we did get that. But they did a good job with this match. And I really, really loved the match. It was just my favorite out of the series. And, you know, it just culminated this feud. And I don't see this feud happening until maybe 2018. Actually, I think Cena's probably going to be done by the time AJ and Cena have another match. So it just depends on where this goes. And this was just like a WrestleMania quality match itself. So, you know, a lot could have been done with the future of this match. But this match itself, it had a great story. And it ended the feud. And it was just a fantastic match. Easily one of my favorite matches of the year. But number 1, and y'all saw it coming, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega from New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 11. This match was incredible. I mean, the dives to the outside of the crowd. There's a cool table spot. I didn't even know that was legal, but I guess now it is. And I don't know, these guys just told a great story of Kenny Omega. This is going to be the year of Kenny Omega, and he lost, making you even mad that you guys now want to see Kenny Omega win. Now you guys are invested in Kenny Omega more than ever. And honestly, there's times where you lose a match and you can still look strong. Kazuchika Okada is a very developed star. And at this point, everybody's waiting to see Kenny Omega beat Kazuchika Okada. But that's not going to happen until possibly Wrestle Kingdom 12. So, I mean, I just love the match. It was a fantastic match. It was just, I mean, this is like taking stuff to the new level. This was a fantastic match. One of the best matches maybe ever. I mean, that's just saying a lot. And I really enjoyed this match a lot. So good. So good. And, yes, that'll be it. This is my favorite match of the year so far. And it's going to be hard to top it. Anyways, that's it for me. It's me, the ALE Prince. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Put some matches that you guys like in the comments below. And until then, I'm out. Peace.